There was something lyrical about her. I used to call her the laughing Buddha. She had a deadpan humor, and every time she spoke, things came alive. So she spoke to us about her time in Assam, where she had a pet elephant, where she fought with a tiger. She had all these stories you never knew when reality stopped and fantasy started, and a lot of it was true because I heard that from other people. So it was magical, really, listening to her, and she had that quality of always making you feel welcome.
I feel that Shanu had one big treasure of stories which she accumulated by her association with the non-human world as well as the human world, and this interrelation that she kept searching for, and she lived within that. She's lived with a lot of pets all around her, and she has also been she was a wonderful cook. She has her whole recipe book and all these things as a person, as a human being, which I think is the culmination, is what we see in her paintings, because her sketches as well as her works have all these kind of different layers, which if you start looking into, takes you deeper into a lot of things which as an artist is very unusual to find.
So one of the reasons I admired Shanu so much was that she was always traveling to all kinds of places to get people involved with making life better, making walls more beautiful, getting students to make their environment a lot more welcoming. So, for example, so I know she went to Rwanda. She went all over the world, where she was invited, and she loved working with school kids. And she did a project with my parents, who were then working in Asha Niketan in Kolkata, a place for mentally challenged people, and she got them to paint their walls, and it involved people from all walks of life to come together and just work on on making their city a lot more friendly, a lot more inclusive, a lot more beautiful.
The archive that we've been working for, it has been around last 3-4 years. We've been actually just going through all the work that she's been doing, and it's interesting to see that every little piece of paper that she's found, whether it's a newspaper or a visiting card or even a box or a plate or whatever, she's always used it as a canvas for expression. So I think that's the most inspiring part. I've always found that art is not something where we always talk about infrastructures and accessibilities and all. It's basically the spirit that one needs to build in. Medium was never a barrier for her. Whatever thing she would find at home or any color that was there, so we've found multiple mediums where she's done, and maybe the same image has been done all through years, whether it's 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, wherever we see, maybe that same image, if we just take even a simple cat, the way she's represented the form, and at a point you feel that somehow she's lived with the species in itself, and it's quite like a personification of that kind of a species. So I think all these elements, which actually we say that it's not the final artwork, it is the practice that is main, which is being recognized today. But at her time, I can imagine that it was not so, and it's so valuable that today we are being able to look through this, and I feel privileged to have that time and energy to really go through them. And every time we feel that maybe her work, all what we've looked through is finished, and then we find another whole box of treasure where there's so many drawings and so many canvases, and we're always surprised. So I think this energy and the stamina and this whole expression that she brings in through her artworks is an inspiration for, I think, all of us to even think that she was practicing till the last moment. Even in the hospital, she was asked that, would you like a piece of canvas? She said, no, everyone would fight with that canvas piece. Who is going to own it? So I better not work. So I think these are perceptions about and how a creative person looks into their life and their surroundings, which I think is where we should actually focus on, and maybe the artworks which we see definitely are byproducts of all these thought processes and associations that she has.
One of the things I remember about Shanudi with a lot of fondness is her love for living things, for plants, for, not just the elephant and the tiger I was telling you about, but also the crows, the sparrows, the squirrel, the cats and dogs, and she had wonderful stories to say about them. They were animated with some sort of spirit, and we felt that if Shanudi wasn't religious at all and never believed in any sort of religious hierarchies, or she was a deeply human person, one where, in a way you could see what goodness allied with intelligence was all about. You could see what it meant to be a person that is, you could see that what it means to be a person that makes society move, that makes society better, that makes society think. She would very often put you back in your place and make you think about certain things that you had said without thinking. And I liked that about her. She never feared anyone, and she would just say what she thought very openly about certain things that were happening in the city, in the world, or with yourself. So in a way, it was always a deeply enriching experience to spend some time with her, not just one that filled your belly, but one that filled your soul, and you came out of any exchange you had with her as a better person. And wherever she is now, she's making that place a much better place.